Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today you all have Neo from the Matrix bringing you all a Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm hoping this is going to be one of the last videos that I need to wear these glasses. Looking at the screens with the bright lights with the eye that's recovering from PRK, kind of like LASIK surgery, is not super comfortable. So we're going to wear these one more time. If I ever wear them in future videos, it's just because I think they're cool. They're kind of growing on me, not going to lie, but I'm completely blacked out today. So it feels a little bit weird, but either way, I wanted to get this video out to you all, and this video may not really teach you anything that you really needed to know, but it's something that I wanted to know, so I figured maybe there's one other person at least out there who is curious, kind of like morbid curiosity about this. This champion chase tournament we have going on right now is an absolute whale fest. Mr. Chinchilla putting up 25,000 points, which is insane. My webcam is going to be a little bit at a weird angle today. I had to get some new monitors because I woke up with mine yesterday completely white screen of death, not too good, but we got some new monitors in, so hopefully the webcam and stuff looks fine. But Mr. Chinchilla, also the raid looks very, very small on the screen. Either way, guys, let's go ahead and move past that. But Mr. Chinchilla, 24,000 points. It's a lot of points. I'm at 261, so I'm gonna go ahead and say I am not going to be competing in this event. He's probably just chilling, waiting towards the end, which honestly, I'm definitely excited, well, intrigued, I guess is a better word, to see what are the points going to be whenever we're like a few hours from actually finishing the event. So if you're somebody in your bracket who has already got a lead, be very careful because there will be people sniping. If you have a lead right now and you're planning to actually get Teodor or whatever legendary is the #1 spot in your bracket, make sure you stay up until the event finishes. If not, you will most likely get sniped because these events, you can literally burst hundreds of thousands of points in the matter of minutes, okay? This is not like champion training. It takes no time at all to get tons of points. With tons of points comes a lot of money spent. With a lot of money spent comes interest from me in finding out how much money was actually spent. So what I did is we're gonna go ahead and assume that the people who are getting a lot of points are mostly opening Void Shards, because right now we have a Void 2x event going on, which means Epic's boosted chance, Legendary boosted chance, and you have a 10x from Adam Saris. The 10x from Adam Saris doesn't really matter as far as these calculations go, but basically what we're going to see is over the course of, this is pretty easy math, but over the course of say 200 shards, well actually 100 shards, okay, just for simplicity's sake, what I did, you have a 16% chance here, 1% chance here, and an 83% chance there. So basically what the math works out to be is you're going to have 83 rares pulled, 16 epics pulled, and 1 legendary pulled per 100 shards on average. Now obviously that may or may not be accurate, but over the course of many, many different 100 pulls, it's probably going to work out to about there, at least according to this simple gotcha calculator, which means the percents are pretty easy to go off of. So here we go. We have a 16% chance. Average number of pulls for an epic champion is going to be 6.25. And then for a legendary, it's going to be 1 in 100. So it's going to be pretty simple stuff to work off of. Basically, what I have pulled up over here on Notepad are the numbers. So 1 out of 6 epic, 1 out of 100 legendary, and then everything else is going to be rares. Literally, the percentages are broken down right here because we're working off 100%. It's gonna be pretty simple stuff. But let's take a look a little bit deeper, okay? So out of 100 shards, let's say you got all this stuff. If you come in here and look at the points you get per rarity of the champions you open, it's all broken down in here. So coming to the champion chase, we're gonna go in the info section, and then we're gonna see right here, maybe you guys gotta pull out your magnifying glass because man, oh man, this is very small. But 650 for a legendary champion, legendary void champion. Like I said, we're gonna assume all this stuff is legendary or void champions, okay? Legendary, epic, rare, void champions. There's definitely been a lot of ancient shards, a lot of sacred shards pulled, but all this math is gonna be for simplicity's sake, void shards only. So 650 for a legendary, 350 for an epic, and then 50 for a rare. So what you gotta do is you come in here and you see, okay, so we have 650 for that 1 legendary pulled from that 100 shards, and then the 5600 is a number coming from, let's see, it's gonna be 250 times the 16 epics pulled, which is gonna be 4,000. Wait, okay, sorry, it's gonna be 350. I'm like, wait, why is my math over here different than my math over there? Okay, so we got 16 epics times 350 because voids are worth more than regular affinity champions. So we have 5,600 points from the epics right here, and then 4,150 is going to be the 83 rares times 50 points per rare, which is 4,150 points. So over the course of 100 void shards, say just for example, you're going to get about 10,400 points. Now this is definitely by no means the exact amount of points you're going to get. Some people are going to get pulls with 2 legendaries. Some people are going to get pulls with no legendaries up until 220 shards. But on average, with all these shards pulled, this is what it should work out to about. So that's the number we're going to be working off of, is 10,400 points per 100 shards pulled. So let's take a look at the very top person right now, Mr. Ziggy52. I actually seen the bracket he's in. Yeah, he has no competition whatsoever, I don't think. I mean, 147,000 points, that is some crazy numbers. 147, 131, we're going to divide that number by that 10,400 number. So 147,000 divided by 10,400 is going to be 14.1400 pulls. Multiply by 100, you're going to have about 1,414 void shards pulled. We're just going to say 1,114, this 0.72. We're just going to say maybe there was a few ancient shards pulled in there as well. So 1,414 void shards pulled. Now, when it comes to void shards, there are a few ways you can purchase them. So you can either, they're very, very different than ancient shards, because ancient shards, you can actually go into the shop. They're pretty, I guess they're reasonably priced most of the time. I mean, worst case scenario, just buy some gems, buy these shards. Okay, it's not terrible, right? Not a great deal, but if you're a whale's gonna whale, and this is not an awful deal for a lot of players. However, well, not an awful deal when you compare it to this. This right here is an atrocity. What is this? A monstrosity. I don't know what the word for this is to explain this, but if you're coming in here and buying 5 void shards, 2,900 gems for $100, you are getting a terrible, terrible deal. So with void shards, you have to buy very, I guess, in preparation for these events. So you have to buy when good deals are offered, and a lot of times the good deals are about $3 per void shard. So if you had 1,400 void shards times 3, that's going to be about $4,242 of void shards spent over the course of so far 2 days. So we have Friday, today is Saturday, the event started on Friday, so it's literally, we have what, a day and 14 hours left? That is crazy. Okay, so this says 3 days. I guess that's before the actual whole thing shuts down, but we still have, this is only halfway. So the halfway point. So Ziggy alone has spent about $4,242. Now it's probably less, like I said. It's probably, well, a lot from clan boss, some sacred shards involved as well, ancient shards, of course, but we'll just say $4,000 just from Ziggy alone. So now I was curious, what did the players in the top 100 spend? So I was thinking like $100,000. My wife, I asked her, she doesn't really have any like actual knowledge as far as what they may have spent, but she said, I don't know, maybe $100,000. Remember, this is over the course of 2 days. Plarium's making some people's yearly income over the course of 2 days. Let's go ahead and add this up. Just out of, like I said, morbid curiosity. I'm not going to go through and add all of them. We're just going to take a rough estimate. So the top 3 players, we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, let's see. We'll do these times 100. So 90,000. So 12 times 100. So top 12, we'll just say it's 100,000 that is. So it's going to be 1.2 million. So 1.2 million. And then the players from, let's say, 13, what do we do? 12. So we'll do 88. All right, so just for simplicity's sake again, and so I don't have to go through and count all this up because we're gonna get a lot bigger numbers as we get closer throughout the weekend. All right, guys, just to make this video simple and not to have to go through and add every single little thing up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the 1st through 15th place, and we're gonna say they all earned 100,000 points, which obviously they haven't, but it's pretty close, and it may average to about that. And then from 15th on to 100, it's gonna be all 60,000 points. I just grabbed 60,000 out of a random number. So 60,000 times 85, because it's 85 places after the first 15. And then we're gonna add 1.5 million, because that is what the first 15 players have earned about, okay, just for this example right here. So we have 6.6 million points total earned. So take this number right here, and we're going to divide the 6.6 million by 10,400, which is going to be the amount of points you earn from about 100 shards pulled, and you're going to get 634. So it's going to be 634 100 pulls of shards. So 634 times 100 is going to be a total of 63,400 void shards pulled. That is a lot of void shards to be pulled. Now, that's just the shards, okay? Let's go ahead now and times this by 3 because it's going to be about $3 per void shard if you get them on a good deal, right? So you're looking at, wow, $190,200. $190,200 USD spent on void shards over the weekend just to get Teodor. And you know the worst part about it? These players are not all getting Teodor. These players, I can almost guarantee, some of them are in brackets against each other. Like number 82 and 83, they may be fighting against each other. Number 38 and 39, they may be competing against each other. Somebody in here is definitely competing against another whale. Imagine this for a whale is going to feel so incredibly bad, especially if you lose, especially if you spend all this money. I mean, even 50,000 points. How many? Why are we opening scanning stuff? Let me close that real quick. So just if it was even 50,000 points, okay, 50,000 points is going to be divided by 10,400. We're going to get 4.8. That's going to be pretty easy. We'll just say 5 times 100. So you can get 500 void shards, $1,500, okay? $1,500 just for all these people in the kind of middle range, which is quite a bit of money. That is quite a bit of money to drop in void shards over the course of 2 days. Not even a weekend yet, guys, just Friday and Saturday. But so far, I'd say it's pretty safe to say that Plarium has earned a whopping total of $190,200 from these void shards this weekend. That's not even including tax. Tax would take this up over $200,000 easily. But I gotta say, they've made a killing. And this is why I said over my previous video that I strongly think we're going to be getting a guaranteed void legendary champion soon. And oh, also keep in mind, that is only from the top 100 players, okay? That $200,000 is only from the top 100 players inside a raid. There are a lot more than 100 players inside raid, in case you guys didn't know that. Like literally my bracket, we have some people down here putting up some really low numbers, but every single one of these are void shards being pulled, or possibly void shards. I've actually pulled 0 and I have 261 points. I actually just summoned somebody from the portal. I just did a fragment summon, so there's definitely gonna be a lot of that as well. So obviously there's gonna be a lot of people just summoning things like that. Free points, not a big deal, but $200,000 just in the top 100 players. That is a lot of money. That makes the champion training tournaments where these where whales well out like nothing. Champion training tournaments, you're not going to spend nearly that much because you can only whale out so much on these. Eventually you start just buying gems, converting it. I mean, it gets kind of to ancient shards eventually, but in general, shard summons are going to be way more whale heavy. Like here, you have 28,000 on the first place prize. Granted, this is Madame Sarah, so not a Krisk tournament or anything like that. But as we get closer to the end, I may come in here and redo the entire calculation and see what it's actually like at the end. But day 2, $200,000. I mean, I guess earning $100,000 a day from your event that you put out isn't that bad. I don't know. I'd say it's not too bad of a payday for Plarium. Let's go, okay, $100,000 on Friday, pretty easy. $100,000 on Saturday, pretty easy. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and do a guaranteed event where all those players who've already spent down their void shards have to go in and buy 90 void shards apiece, which is going to be $270. If you have $270, then you times that by however many players spent all of their shards during this event, and you're looking at, let's say, $27,000 if only 100 players did that. And I'm going to say a lot more than 100 players are going to be spending money on a guaranteed event, assuming the guaranteed void legendary is going to be good, which who knows? Who knows if it's going to be good or not? But just an interesting video, or at least it was interesting to me. I was curious about how this was going to work out. So guys, Neo from the Matrix signing out. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.